Welcome to Active and Healthy with Gina. Looking forward to our 10 minutes of Ageless Grace exercises today. It's how we start every week of the show so that you're gently activating the whole body. So let's get ready to get going. We're going to start this morning with some real creativity, playing some different instruments, and for some reason, and why not, we're going to start the day with an orchestra, and we're in a rock band. So you've got to grab your guitar. I've never played the guitar, but come on, let's imagine. Let's just hit the music. So we've got to look a bit serious. So you're tapping your foot, you're strumming the front of the guitar, your fingers are moving up and down the strings. So get that whole arm moving. So every time you're using both parts of the body, right, left brain, here goes. Got to change sides now. What's it like on the other side? Little head bang. We're trying to look a bit cool here. Maybe we've got our dark glasses on. How about some guitar? Let's cross out some guitar. That was the guitar. How about drums? Cross the hands. We've got our little drumsticks in. And we go in and out. On one side. You don't ever have to play an instrument to imagine using it. You're firing the same part of the brain as if you were using it and playing with it, which is so great. Other side of the body. I got my heel drumming as well at the same time. Head's drumming, hands are moving, lots of the body's going at the same time. How about going down in a big circle? Big drum kit. Come on, round, round, round. Hit the cymbals. See, a little bit of background music just playing in our rock band. So the next one is our Shake It Up Baby. It's when we're releasing tension in all the joints. So let's just get the body gently. Little shakes. We're starting with both arms together. Flapping, almost like wings. And flap. So the hands are going up and down. Take the hands down by your side and you're going to bring one shoulder, one foot up. Bring these shoulders up. Shake these shoulders out, side to side, elbows up. You can use the waist. All at the same time. Shake, shake. What about shaking the bottom? Shake, 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 shake. Shakira can do it, we can do it. What about a leg? Shake the leg out. Shake, shake, shake. Whole leg. Shake, shake, shake. You should feel the vibration all the way up through the thigh and the knee. Let's hold the leg and just kick the knee out. In, out. That's good. Holding on. Glad to hold on to your own leg and shake that ankle. Round we go. Shake, shake, shake. Very good. What about the other leg? We've got two of them. Hopefully. Shake, 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 shake. Vibrating all the way up through the thigh. Hold it. Shake out from the knee. Shake the ankle. All about releasing tension in the joints and in the muscles and in the myofascia, which is like web-like substance underneath the skin. So just bounce and shake. Bounce. Shake it all, like a little puppy getting off all the water. Shake it up, baby. That's what we call that exercise. Okay, the next one is about our emotional expression. We refer to this one as dance party. Mainly for the lower body because we're getting these legs going and we're kicking out to the side because we're seated in our chair and we can kick. Every day is kick. Kick. Kick it out. Kick. Kick. Whenever you get tired, you always bring the movements back to a little slow walk. Don't try and stop altogether. Remember, it's 10 minutes. Use your hands. Push out. Lift the arms and shoulders up. This is your emotional expression and dancing. Let's make one leg go in and out. And the shoulder. Dancing on the spot. in your chair, so much easier. What about the other side? Just make it turn, shoulder, hip, knee, woo. Back to walking. What about a little jumping jack? Just make sure these hearts are really working when we finish up. We go out and back, out. You just go to your range. It doesn't have to be big, or it can be. Got room? Not kicking anybody else while we're at it. What about some hands? Same time. Up. Did you know you could do jumping jacks seated? Can. Let's go. And a few quick ones. Ooh. Take control on your tummy, this. Heel out. We're dancing and enjoying the moment. Up and down. Shoulders. Ooh. What about that old hitchhiker? Moves that they used to do in the discos in the old days. Every time I say the word disco, my children laugh at me. So that's where we went. 2 one side, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And march it. Strutting down the street, elbows up. Tap, 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 tap. Just dance to the movement, to the music. Whatever your movements are, it's good. Out, out. Make this feet in, out. Both together. Ooh. And in, out. Ooh. I got my heart racing. What about yours? Slow it down. Draw breath. The only thing about songs like this, you never know when they're going to pick up speed again. Whew. Okay, always wonderful. Finish up with some stretches. So, put one hand onto your waist, opposite hand up, and we're reaching over to the side, and we're holding. So this is all about our flexibility. Nice big stretches. Now, what about bringing both hands up overhead? Bring these fingers together. Turn them inside out. Look up at the ceiling. Hold that stretch. Bring it back down in front of your face. Push out the shoulders. Now, keeping your body facing forward, you're just going to take your arms slightly to one side. You're stretching out this arm here. Back to center. We're going to go across to the other side, just where it's comfortable. Hold that stretch. Let's let the arms down, and we're letting them go behind us. Big stretch up. Up we go. Ooh, just hold it wherever's good for you. Lovely. And what about having worked on that hip? Let's stretch out the hip. You can either hold your knee at the front, underneath, wherever's comfortable for you. Hold it so it's nice and close. Roll that ankle round. This is a great circulation exercise in the morning. You can sit on the end of your bed. Even if you're not picking up the leg, you can still circle that ankle. Lovely. Change legs. That one's going down. Next one up. Hold it. Rotate that ankle on this side. You'll often find one side is looser than the other. Change direction. Lovely. Put that foot down. Now we're keeping this leg bent. Other leg stretching out. Toes are towards you. You should feel a pull on your calf. We'll take the opposite arm only as far as the knee and hold that. So just keep that hold. Change legs. We always want to finish with a balance. Bend the other leg. Flex this one. Toes are towards you. Opposite arm. I hope you're feeling that in the calf, back of the leg. Then you know you're stretching it out. Just hold that gently. Wonderful. As you can see, 10 minutes of Ageless Grace exercises goes really, really fast. But you've done it. You've done your 10 minutes today, and that is fantastic. So I am going to look forward to seeing you second half of the show. Grab yourself some water, and we'll see you in just a moment. And welcome back to Active and Healthy with Gina. I hope you enjoyed your exercises today and that you're ready for us to continue exactly where we left off last week. I am here again today with the founder and the MD of Geratec, Mr. Rayne Stroebel. So welcome, Rayne. Lovely to have you with us, carrying on from where we were last week. And I know that you are very passionate and have a wonderful comprehensive program called the Geriatric Giants that you're going to talk to us a little bit more about. So yes. What are they?
Thanks, Gina. Yes, the Geriatric Giants. I like to call them the Geriatric Monsters. It was research done by a gentleman by the name of Cape in 1987, where he looked at the factors that influence the way that people age. Now, you know, there's a lot of stigmatization and ageism and projection onto older people. I often say, especially by their children, we all make the mistake to say, Mum, you know, Mum, you should slow down. Yes. Dad, we have to talk about your driving, which is nonsense. You know, I'm so dead against that. Older people drive slower. They are far more aware of what goes on around them. So yeah, if they want to take anyone off the road, take the taxi drivers off the road, not older people. Okay, so there's this ageist projection onto, well, you know, you are old, so this must happen. So Cape look at the 5 things that actually influence the way that older people age, that are not necessarily a normal part of the aging process. Now, last week we touched on falls. Yes. The number one reason why older people lose their independence is because they have a fall. Now, there's a lot of interesting statistics about falls, and they're not as bad as people make out. Although when you fall and you have a fractured hip, a lot of time people never actually recover from that in terms of their independence. We touched on the fear of falling. Yes. So the fear of falling is really an inhibiting fear, because people would not want to go out and that has become an actually bigger monster than falling itself. There's constant fear. The way that people then start walking is very different, so their gait changes. Yeah, that stooping, isn't absolutely, and the shuffling.
Not picking up their feet any
exactly,
longer. Not trusting the ground in front of you.
But also, you know, our activities of daily living, walking, going to the bathroom, eating, dressing, bathing, showering, you know, are not really cognitive processes anymore. They become muscular intelligence. That's just what we do, and we know how to do it. But once you have a fear of falling, you become very conscious of the way that you walk, and that's unnatural. So again, your risk becomes even higher. Yes. We then spoke about the muscle loss, which brings us to the second biggest reason why people become dependent is incontinence. And again, the whole psychological thing that happens around incontinence, people being embarrassed about it, being ashamed, not wanting to go out, thinking I can't go on the trip because what if there's not a toilet nearby, and. So you know, the physiology is one thing, and medical science is fantastic. They can do so much about the physiology, but we often forget the psychology behind this. And I mean, Brené Brown, one of my favorite people, speaks about vulnerability. And I think what we so underestimate is the vulnerability of aging, of not feeling up to it, of being ashamed, of being slower.
It's losing confidence, isn't it?
Losing confidence, losing dignity.
teaching. Yes.
Absolutely. And I think, your program is so vitally important because it just, it lifts the mood.
It does.
If nothing else happens, there's oxygen going to the brain, there's adrenaline.
Absolutely. Endorphins being lifted.
Endorphins, absolutely. The serotonin, all those good things are happening without medication.
That's right.
So
all natural,
free and gratis, in fact. So we have those two major giants, the falling and the incontinence. The third one then, is mood. So often we find that people, when they are incontinent and they are wearing incontinence wear, the risk of developing something like a urinary tract infection is 100%. It often goes undetected. A strong urinary infection will present with exactly the same symptoms as dementia.
Yes. A
terrible confusion, and literally from one day to the next, that person would become delirious as a result of a urinary tract infection. So
it's
mood,
fairly easy to fix rather than just suddenly being shifted off to somewhere, be thinking, okay, she's now lost it.
Absolutely. And I think this is something we need to talk about.
Yes.
I call them the 3 Ds: depression, delirium, and dementia.
Okay.
And those 3 often present with exactly the same symptoms and are confused. And so often we find that people are just labeled as being demented when they definitely are not demented. Dementia is a diagnosis by exclusion, meaning that there are at least 21 well-known medical conditions that we have to exclude before we even think of dementia. One of them being a urinary tract infection, severe depression, and. So mood and the psychological well-being is the third monster that impacts on the way that people age. And it's not a physiologically natural thing that older people should be depressed. The fourth giant, of course, is one of my pet subjects, and that's, a very big word: iatrogenic disorders. Now, iatrogenic disorders are nothing other than the side effects of well-intended medical and nursing interventions. So all the medications, all the things that we think are so good, a little sleeping tablet, a little sedative will just calm mum down, actually can have dire side effects and a huge impact on the way that people age. Polypharmacy, using...
We touched on this with Professor Noakes.
Yes.
Over-medication, a huge issue, isn't it?
If you use more than 3 prescribed medications, you have a higher risk of malnutrition. So we go right back to the first giant again, and the one monster feeds on the other monster, which eventually brings you to the fifth one, which is an impaired homeostasis. And that just means that the body's equilibrium, that fine balance of this mystical thing called the human body is disturbed. It's like the computer's motherboard has just gone awry, and you literally want to pull the plug out, but you can't pull the plug out. And that is then where there is severe malnutrition. There is, a very high risk of skin disintegration. And all the systems just go wrong. And that is not normal. That is not the way that older people should age. And if we start investing in exercise,
yes,
daily exercise, getting out into the sun. I mean, in South Africa specifically, our foods are not fortified with vitamin D. The only source of vitamin D is the sun. For people with darker skin, it's imperative that they get exposed to sunlight on a daily basis to absorb vitamin D. Otherwise, their bodies cannot process calcium the way that they should, so the risk of osteoporosis increase. So that, it's free and gratis.
I was about to say that's something else we can take that's a free benefit, particularly living in this glorious country.
Absolutely. And something like osteoporosis, exercise, just jumping up and down and weight-bearing exercise in combination with vitamin D is essential. You are really abusing your own body if you are not exposing it to the sun every single day. Now, again, if we look at for instance, women in the Muslim community, covering up most of their bodies. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but the sun on the face, sun on the forearms, incredibly important.
But even to get, when they're at home, then they're able to be uncovered and take the opportunity to get out into the garden and realize that the body actually does need to absorb the sun.
Yeah.
So if we were trying to give some last minute tips to our viewers, Rayne, what would you be encouraging them to look at, things with their own families, questions to ask, that is in a positive way to be able to give them a step going forward?
Yes. I'd love to also talk next time about well-being.
Yes.
And the indicators of well-being. What do we look out for? We look out for any change. Now, often when we live together in the same house, we don't see these changes. Right. But then family comes and visits and says, oh, Mum has lost so much weight. So look out for weight loss. Look out for a change in mood. Look out for a change in gait. Look out for any change in intake, food, drink, whatever, and output. Any change in toilet rituals, routines and things.
And no more than 3 medications, or else something needs to be taken a look at. Yes.
Go and ask, because we go to this doctor for that and that doctor for this, and we end up with this cocktail.
Yes.
I'm not saying stop it, please. I don't want it on my conscience.
I quite agree.
But investigate.
That's right.
I always ask older people, do you actually read everything in that little pamphlet that's in the box with the medication? Also, yes, I said, you lie, because first of all, you can't see what's written there, it's so small, and secondly, you can't understand a word.
Absolutely.
So look out for the side effects, the interactions between medication, and just exercise.
And take care of your loved ones, do things as community, as socialization.
Yes. When we talk about the domains of well-being, one of them is socializing. Yes. And what is found also with older people who are at risk of dementia, socializing is one of the most important things, that we do not ostracize them.
Right.
Keep them part of the family.
Absolutely.
Keep their status.
They still are part of the family.
They are.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, Rayne, there is so much to talk about this. I'm sure there will be another opportunity for us to talk about the wonderful work that you're doing. And I really, really appreciate you being with us on the show today. So thank you so much. I'm going to put links on so that people will be able to know where to go and find out about what Geratec and what you do, and those documents and other articles that you have mentioned and the assessments will let people know where they can go and find
Fantastic.
that. So thank you. Lovely to have you with us.
Thank you.
So, that's it. Another wrap up for Active and Healthy with Gina. I'm going to look forward to seeing you next week, and thank you for being with us.